that all of our programs for parents and children and babies and teenagers, they're not just spread out on all 4 floors, but also east to west in every part of the building. And that can make it really challenging for first-time visitors. We really want to make everything as simple and as clear as possible so that people don't feel like outsiders when they visit, that don't know the building and they don't know how things work. And so what I would love to see happen is for the activities building to ultimately become this whole wing where families thrive and engage with one another and with the Holy Spirit. And so ultimately, I would love to see families using the gym as a breakout space, where we currently have breakout as the auditorium. That can be a little bit challenging to find. And then when they are in the gym and they're singing their contemporary praise music and worshiping together, they break out into the activities building. The babies are in the nursery, there's children's classes, confirmation would be in there, our youth Sunday school class would be in there, and we would even make space for adult small groups. And that's between the 9:30 and 10:30 hour. And so to me, that's just a really dynamic vision, a way that makes it easy for families to take the step from worshiping to growing all in 1 hour. I think that's really cool. And so we hope that that's the track we'll be on. But this particular building project, as it's been mentioned before, is really just a very small first step.
The thing I'm excited about most is the children's area. I think it's one of those things that's been lacking for a little bit, that we really need to really reinvest our time and our money and our facilities into to create a great program for our upcoming youth that we're trying to grow in their faith in the Lord. And it's amazing to see that the programs we have currently are doing so well. I mean, surprisingly, a lot of the things that we do in our church, and the majority of it, is really geared towards children, which is fantastic already, but I feel that we need more facilities to kind of help grow that and nurture that as we move forward. And I think
I love the church in their service area. Everything from Breakfast at the Heights and Food Pantry and the Pie Partners, and I don't know, we've even done little projects of just workmen, getting together and doing things, and that's been really exciting. And we don't need anything for that, but we really do need to kind of focus on the children's area. One other thing that I wanted to mention, that we are probably going to move in 6 to 8 months, and but we're still excited about what's going to happen here. We wanted to be sure when this started to give our donation early, and to be sure that it happens, because it was such a great blessing for our family to have this church to grow in, and we want to be sure that other families have that same opportunity.
This is Rex Sigler, and I'm here tonight to try to explain to you about the Children's Center renovation that we have planned, that is going to go for in front of the church conference next week. You can see by this plan, the diagram, that there are a bunch of red lines, and all of those areas in red are scheduled for demolition as part of the remodel. These are the current classrooms with the rounded corners, and the current bathroom, and there's a sink in this back closet. This area over here in the gray is the current gymnasium and kitchen area and food pantry area, and this is a janitorial closet. All of these areas are not scheduled to have anything done to them at all. They're as they are. Okay, so I'll bring this over, and this will show you, this plan shows what the intended floor plan is to look like. Now, this area right here is the actual breezeway that is in between the two buildings right now, with this door providing out into the playground area, and this door comes to a sidewalk which comes along this side to the circular driveway and the sanctuary side. So this is the planned entry point for the nursery after hours, so or on for Mother's Day out and other events that are using the nursery, so that they can come up in the circular driveway and enter between the buildings and come in this place here for a secure checkpoint. This is our existing ramp that is in going down the corridor toward the gymnasium area, and there will be some changes to the angle of the ramp, but you'll see the with the new existing floor plan, this is a much larger room, squared off corners. We'll have a short corridor going back this way, with giving access to a janitor's closet, a laundry section area, and a smaller classroom in this area. This is the footprint for the restrooms, men's and women's, and they will have to be modified for the to meet accessibility requirements. You'll see that our spray hand wash section, hand wash sink that never did work, has been removed, and that the sinks and wash area will be moved out into that area, making full use of that space. Now over here on this side, this will be our nursery and younger children's areas. There's two fairly good sized classrooms and areas. Each will have a wet sink and cabinetry. They will share a toilet in between, and there will be a short corridor in between to give access to this classroom. This large area here, which will be demoed at the same time, is intended for phase 2, and is suggested that as funds are available that we will finish out the space. But for right now, as far as phase 1 goes, this is going to be a roughed out space for use later. And you'll see this document actually shows how that space is going to be used. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Guess that's not going to work. Try it anyway. That space will be used to rough out two classrooms with a dividing wall and a larger classroom, and there will be a corridor along this wall to provide egress outside for emergencies, and to the driveway and access across to the sanctuary if needed. But the actual exit point that is secure will be this point right over here. This will just be an emergency exit, as well as there will be emergency doors going through the gym through this way. But this will be a secure point where people cannot come back through this way.
Bringing in new members, bringing in young families, and also reaching out to multi-generational families. So I think from the standpoint of the improvements in the fellowship hall, that'll be a great way to fellowship and to reach those multiple generations of families. It's very important that that happens.
Proposed renovations to the fellowship hall will begin with some demolition on the 10th Street side. The stairs and doors will be removed, as well as the large storage room in the corner. This will allow for construction of a ramp for accessibility to the room from the lobby area, which we now refer to as the parlor. In that wall where the 3 doors were, 3 windows will be placed in the wall separating the old entryway and the fellowship hall. This will allow natural light to enter the room. The exterior doors between the columns will be removed and replaced with 2 windows and 1 large door for an emergency exit. This will improve the appearance on the outside and make it look like it's not an entrance. We will also have to remove some stairs on the front steps to provide a ramp to the sidewalk level. Moving to the kitchen side of the fellowship hall, the current entry ramp and part of the kitchen ramp will have to be demolished to make room for a wider, longer ramp. Several other storage and mechanical spaces will have to be modified as well. The doorways to the serving lines will have to be enlarged. Other sections of demolition would include creating an additional entry or exit into the Merle Anthony classroom and expanding the existing doorway to provide better access. The restrooms in the Fellowship Hall corridor will have to undergo major renovations to bring them up to code. And it is true that we will lose some stall space, but what we lose in space, we will gain in accessibility. Also, cosmetic changes. The ceiling of the Fellowship Hall will be altered to have a level appearance instead of the various canted angles that are left over from the old sanctuary above. There is an estimated $25,000 for new kitchen appliances. Although the kitchen itself is not presented at this time for a complete overhaul, the architects have consulted with a kitchen specialist, and they suggested that updated appliances would help the functionality of the space for many years ahead.
Breakfast at the Heights is entering its 10th year as an outreach ministry of Floral Heights United Methodist Church. For anyone not familiar with breakfast, what we do is offer a free hot meal of pancakes and bacon each Sunday morning to people in our church's neighborhood and the community at large. But I'd venture to say that most people are already familiar with breakfast because so many church members have volunteered to help it make it happen. Nearly every Sunday school class at Floral Heights, the choir, the Boy Scouts, the Wesley Foundation, and MSU all have helped volunteer and serve breakfast. It is truly a church-wide effort. Breakfast has certainly grown over the past 10 years. While our basic menu of pancakes, bacon, juice, and coffee hasn't changed much, the number of people served down in the activities building has grown from a handful to 50 to 80 each week. Some of those coming have been attending for 3 to 5 years or even longer. And while breakfast is still a place to get a free meal, a safe place to get together with friends and socialize over a cup of coffee, and a warm, dry place to get out of the cold for those who may not have a roof over their heads, for many it has become something much more, a church home.
We do this each Sunday morning from 7:30 to 9. To accomplish this, a team of faithful volunteers begin to arrive at 6 a.m. to cook the bacon, fill the coffee pots and juice dispensers, set the table with butter and syrup and prayer cards. And then when the doors open of the gym at 7:30, our neighbors are met by even more volunteers who cook and serve the pancakes.
For the past several weeks, we have called upon people to volunteer their time, talents, and especially labor to prepare the red brick building across the street from the church to become the new home for Breakfast at the Heights. If you have not seen the work that has been done over there, please do so. We have completely gutted the interior, torn out all the walls, ceiling, ductwork, and electrical fixtures. It has been a hard, dirty, but fun job. Now that the volunteer demolition has been completed, and if the church provides funds for it through the passage of the building campaign, the next step will be for professional contractors to turn the building into not only a home for Breakfast at the Heights, but a multi-purpose facility that can be used for many groups throughout the church. It will have seating for nearly 100, a food preparation area, bathrooms, and hopefully even a shower. It will be available to the Boy Scouts, youth groups, out-of-town groups that visit our church to work in the community, and groups within our church for their meetings and activities. If the building campaign passes, the red brick building will become a tremendous asset, not just for Breakfast at the Heights, but for all of Floral Heights.
Floral Heights Food Pantry was started by our church in 1985, and it has grown into the area's largest food pantry. We feed an average of 2,000 households each month. We are currently registering about 20 to 30 new applicants each week, which shows how fast our food pantry is growing. We have received our own 501c3 status and changed our name to Floral Heights Community Food Pantry. The trustees gave us some land across the street for our new building, and we are in the process of looking for donations to be able to build this building. The building will cost around $300,000. We are hoping that our new pastor, Don Yeager, will bring us some fresh new ideas since he has been running the Gainesville Food Pantry for many, many years. The church is also ready to make some changes, which includes remodeling of the fellowship hall and the kitchen, a coffee bar, and a new secured children's area. We are looking at a timeline of January 2017 to be in our new facility, as long as we have raised the money. We appreciate all of our church members for volunteering, donations, and the support and encouragement that comes our way.
And last but not least, I would like to remind you that we would love for you to fulfill your pledges for the building program. Our Breakfast at the Heights team has already gutted the old red brick building across the street, and we hope to move in by September 1st, 2016. Thank you.